Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Wanted to go over with you some important information regarding the latest news of Yahoo Finance has cut off all historical data within its API. So I'm going to just show you that blog and some history to it. This is the last few days. So if you go to one of my blog postings right here, this link, easy way to plot two stocks. So I'm going to try to run this in a Windows environment. You're going, oh no, not Windows again. I'm not happy about it either, folks. But basically what happened was May 20th, 2017, Yahoo Finance discontinued the free historical data API. So I put up this video trying to show the IQFeed data source. So we're going to do that. I explain it in a few videos that I've just put out. So if you look at my video,
how's your trading going? Let me show you
most recent videos as of this recording, you'll find that I have included this video here to explain the situation and mentioning in there IQFeed as the data source. So we're going to install Windows because the Mac version for IQFeed is not up to my satisfaction, specifically on the API side. So we're going to use, if you go under my video playlist, what we need to do is to install a more stable environment, obviously Windows, download the data from IQFeed or through IQFeed. We can use a variety of tools. If you go into, as I said, into my video playlist, look for IQFeed. Right here, you'll see a couple tools that I will try to install called, and here, yeah, so there's 30 videos here.
You need a website.
So we got over 30 videos in here explaining how to interface with it, IQFeed. Also using Q Collector or XLQ, so you can get more information in there. And this is why we're downloading Windows. I'm not gonna be honest, I'm just too lazy to worry about the IQFeed on Mac solution or Linux. I mean, ultimately I'll be using broker data, so I'm looking at maybe a couple months, a year, who knows, before I get onto a better broker other than Duca's copy, like Interactive Brokers. So in the meantime, I'm using IQFeed. So again, that's why I'm using the Windows version. So here we are using Windows. So there are apparently ways to get Windows and ISO. So starting out, these are the steps we're going to go through. We got VirtualBox. We're going to install that yet again. 50th million video I've done this. That's the program that will host all the virtual machines. We already will have a Windows ISO. So in my case, I'll have Windows 10 ISO. Once we install that, basically I got to install Windows and then install the IQFeed client. Then I may install the third-party software, as I mentioned, XLQ as well as Q Collector. What we really need is Q Collector, and then out of that, obviously, we'll need probably Office specifically. Is that the case? No, I'm lying. So we'll try to install both Python 2 and 3. So that's what we're going to try to do. So the first thing, obviously, is we need to get our VirtualBox. That's easy. I've shown this so many times, crazy. Download. So we'll download the latest version. We want OS 10 because we're on Mac here. So blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's still downloading. So you can see here I've downloaded this Windows ISO. We're going to use that to boot up the Windows environment. Now, again, I don't know if this will have a valid key or need a valid key for Windows. But it's Windows 10, so we'll find out. And just as a hint to get that, you get that through this program called insiderwindows.com. And supposedly you can get your Windows through this before you install, or how to install. I mean, I'll put up a link on how to do that. So here we go. So here's our virtual box. So run the application. Okay. So you have to extract this package, PKG. So yeah, we'll continue. Install. Password it needs, no problem. Let's see it. I'm always changing passwords these days. I'll eventually get it. Okay, there we go. So let me just get rid of that. Okay, so we have, where's my virtual box? So we've just installed it, has been installed. So I guess we move that to trash. Okay, so if I go into my launch pad, it should be there, there it is. So here's our virtual. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to install new. Let's call it Windows, keep it simple. Windows 10. We got a 64-bit. See right here, that's a 64-bit, not a 32-bit. I'm going to continue. Now, memory is not a big deal. It's the hard drive space. Wow, 32 gig. Unbelievable. That's too much. I don't even have enough drive space, my friends. Okay, so goodbye Windows 10. We are going to try Windows 7. So let's do that. Download the ISO, get rid of the other one. So we want something small, something basic. So apparently this is from Microsoft. I think we need the key though. But for now, let's just get the, so right here you need the key. So let's try this. Easy way to download ISOs legally. Yeah, so you still need the key. Okay, well, let's try it. Oh, we need the key up front. Wow. We'll figure this out. Hey, all, Brian here, continuing along. Okay, so I finally somewhat found a pseudo way to get a virtual machine on your environment. If you come here under developer, Microsoft.com, you can download these virtual machines for Windows to test out their Internet Explorer. It's still up. So these are your options. Obviously, I just go with the basics, and you can sign up, download, but do understand this. These are only valid for 90 days. So if you need to take a snapshot when you install it, and then, yeah. so that's pretty well that. Okay, so let me just show you the files and stuff. If you go in here into the virtual machine, in my case here, this is where everything gets extracted. You will get a what is a virtual machine? Can't remember where I put it, but I think I still have it. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is the zip, and you open that up. It will give you a way to import those files into VirtualBox. So what you need to do is you open up your VirtualBox. In my case here. You come under Import Appliance, because that's what you're really downloading as an appliance for Windows 7. And then from there, once it's imported, you are able to now run it. It's in my case here. Now, it's going to start the usual Windows 7. And then from there, we get access into a basic virtual machine that enables us to install what will hopefully be the IQFeed client, as well as the other necessary tools that we want, like Python or IQ collector. So what we're looking at is typical Internet Explorer, which most people can't be bothered. So I'll just download Google Chrome or something like that. So download now, download Chrome. Okay, so blah blah blah, accept install, sure, run. Okay, yes. Okay, it's connecting. And downloading. So we will be able to get a running copy of Chrome. Now, you're probably wondering about these licenses for Windows 10. Now, there are these Windows 7 license keys that you could probably buy online. I don't know what's legit and what isn't, but you can see here they claim to be legitimate. You know, just in case you want to buy one to extend beyond the 90 days. I'll probably do that. As I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of Windows and Microsoft product anymore, but to get beyond the surprise, you have to sometimes, as I say, eat humble pie, which I've done numerous times with this Microsoft business over the years. Okay, so it looks like we have Chrome running. Get on that. Let's close our Explorer. Now, out of curiosity, just always wanted to know the size that's available for this virtual machine. So, installed memory 512. So it looks like a very basic installation, but the question is how much drive space is available for this. Let's see if we can find out. Yeah, so we just do a properties. So it looks like we have 117 gig available, used only 9 gigs, so that's pretty good actually. So we should be okay there. So we now have the obviously the Chrome running. So let's go in and download the IQFeed client. Pull up my set of steps here. So we've got VirtualBox. We found a Windows ISO, which is really an appliance. So we're now at this step at the IQFeed. So let's download the client. Okay, so we want Windows. Soft shows. So obviously you need a valid IQFeed account. Oh, see if it installs. Now the other thing is, if you're wanting to do the API stuff, sometimes you may need the Windows, the IQFeed API developer license, which is a couple $100 a year, which I think is well worth the money spent because it gives you the ability to use the IQFeed for enhanced programs with Java, let's say, or whatever your language that they support, like C# or whatever else. Just going to install the basics here. So let me just see if I can get this puppy running, which I'm sure I'll install the C++ distributable, that's standard. And once that's running, we'll be good to go. So it's completed. Okay. So let's see if we have IQFeed installed. Yeah, we do. Latest version, I might add. So we have here the launcher. Okay, so we're going to try to attempt to start, which it won't. So there we go. It's asking for our credentials. So I'll come back to you in another video, or in another segment in this video, once we get that working. Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Okay, so we are here in my virtual machine. What I want to add or just mention to you is this is the virtual machine. Over here is the host, which is the Mac. Alright, so let me just show you a few things before we continue to just save you from any confusion. I want to make sure you understand, if you're new to my whole process, if you come under youtube.com/quantlabs, you'll come to my video channel on YouTube, come under playlists, and what I'm about to show you are the continuation of other videos that will introduce you to some tools that I just decided, you know what, it's just more convenient to use these that I'm used to in this Windows virtual machine now that I'm running it, and just save myself some pain down the line. Okay, so humble pie again, but I'm not a proud person of it, but what can you do, right? So coming back, dear oh dear, I'm not very good at this. There we go. This is our virtual machine right here. So what we've installed now, or I have installed, is two programs. I've shown you roughly how to install IQFeed, the client. What I have not shown you is how to configure it for your account. I've been using IQFeed for quite a while, many years actually, and I've been very, very happy with them. As I mentioned in my various videos, it's probably one of the only services where you can get both real-time data, which can be pretty well tick data all the way up to whatever time period you want. At the other end, they are getting cheaper and more competitive, and I really like them. Let's just leave it at that. Now, a third or another piece of software I use called Q Collector. Now you'll see this in my video playlist for the IQFeed. It's one of the tools. So we've got this running now. I've created a test portfolio. I'll show you roughly how to use this software, but that's kind of out of my scope. If you have any interest in running either IQFeed or any of these tools like Q Collector, your best bet is to go with the provider, ask questions with them, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you out. But hopefully they do know I do use the software. I have no interest in getting any form of compensation for it. I'm just here to show you what I like, what's easy, what's been working for me for quite a long time. Not only that, it's just about using quality product versus crappy product, which this is not a bad product for what you pay. And again, same with IQFeed. Okay, so continuing along, we've got this test portfolio. I'm gonna add a new one for just fun kicks or kick. So we'll work with Apple. Do, I don't know, a 10-minute time frame. That's today. We'll start it a week ago or the beginning of the month. Okay. So I'm just gonna download this little guy. Collect. So right here, we know that we've collected it because it's 100%. Not only that, but I can also go in and check out the new file that's getting created. So this is very important. Let's talk about the data or naming conventions for all my symbols. Moving forward for my quant analytics folks, we're going to have a set of charts that will just have IBM / whatever. So in my case here, _D means daily data. Here _10 means 10-minute data. So these are the raw files that I have capabilities to create and obviously look at. And we know that the typical format is date, time, open, high, low, close, and volume. Okay, so that's kind of working, which is good. So next step we're going to work with is a product called XLQ. Now XLQ is really good. This is again in that video playlist. Here under video XLQ, if you've been watching me recently, specifically over the last week, you know about the problems of the historical database with Yahoo. Now, I find it quite interesting where this new version of XLQ came in and it says, updated to re-enable Yahoo's historic downloads using their new method requiring HTTPS cookie and crumb. So it looks like their techniques have changed. This software is working with the new Yahoo historical database. I don't know if it's free or not. I'm going to be honest, I don't really give a rat's ass about that anymore. I want to use professional data, and that's not going to have gaps and dividend, whatever nonsense. I want to use cleanly scrubbed data, and IQFeed does quite a good job at that. So I'm planning just to just use this moving forward. I have no interest in using Yahoo historical, free or not. It's just, for analytical purposes, kind of like a joke. As I said many times before, if you're not able to afford simple investments like this of a couple $100 here and there for Yahoo Finance or something like IQFeed, I think you're going to have problems looking for proper ways to analyze market data, and we'll just leave it at that. All right, so we've got XLQ. Got to configure it and set it up. So obviously the product that you need is Excel, the Office. Now, for the last few months I've been running LibreOffice, and it's been pretty good actually. But unfortunately I need Excel, in order for me to run XLQ, I need Excel from Microsoft. So obviously I'm going to download it. Don't like this monthly plan, but again, what can you do? So I'm going to just try out the download or the demo, get it all working, and we'll go from there. And then from the next step after that is to install Python 2 and 3 on Windows using this basic Windows 7 environment. Okay, so let me get that all configured for XLQ. Okay, continuing where we left off. What I've done now is, you can see here I've installed demo versions, which will eventually evolve into an actual paying subscription to Office 365 on a monthly basis, which, again, just something I got to deal with. The other big change, I've added the XLQ. Now, a couple things. You can get some instructions how to use this through my video playlist in the IQFeed. You're better off to go to this site here at Qmedix, the guy or the company that makes this. So I'll just show you the basics of it and go from there. But I just want to show you that I got everything running. So we're going to load up the Qmedix demo spreadsheet. But you got to make sure you get this little XLQ little icon running in your tray. And once that's the case, then you've got IQFeed obviously running. Now, the cool thing about this piece of software is it's really powerful. I've shown some demos of this, and you could get proper technical analysis data using, I guess, VBA in Excel, and being able to download or capture the latest technical analysis set of indicators that XLQ provides. So what I'm going to do is we've got XLQ running. Now I'm going to fire up my IQFeed launcher. So there it goes. And we should be able to get some decent information here now. Okay, so just see here, I haven't played with this in a while. So, okay. This is a typical set of indicators that we have available to us through IQFeed or through XLQ. So these are typical examples that you could use to get access to all the different available data that you want. So in my case, I'm wanting to download Microsoft or whatever's available. I'm just going to try to see how to get my data running. It's not as intuitive as it used to be. I'm not sure if this is the exact... Oh, you know what? Dumb mistake. This is the AAII demo. Boy, am I dumb sometimes. Or sloppy is a better word. Okay, XLQ, we want... Not this demo, the XLQ demo. Here we go. Okay, cool. This is what I was looking for. My apologies there. All right, so this is exactly what I was looking for. So you can see here, we have various different resources available, or I should say data sources. We have Yahoo Internet, I guess, Google, IQFeed. Okay, so let's say if I chose IQFeed as a data source, now don't use a lot of Excel, so don't ever call me an expert here, because I ain't. I'm not. Let's see, XLQ. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to change my... So here's the data source for the Google data. It's got some charting and basic stuff right within XLQ. Pretty cool. But now that I'm using IQFeed as my data source, I think it's just still okay. So it's using IQFeed. Now, question is, how do I force the change? There's a hotkey. Or is there a way I can do it through here? We have XLQ 4X. So let's say I want to do IQFeed. So it's downloading the data here. So just updated it from within from IQFeed. So I can tell that right here. I don't know why this is not working. Execute price. Values will not update. Alt Control F9 is pressed. Alt. Now I'm gonna virtual machine. Alt Control. That's the hotkey I was looking for. F9. Let's see if this works. No big deal. Stock overview. Now this is pretty cool. So this is for Intel, IQFeed. There we go. So just updated the latest for IQFeed. Okay, so that's the latest tick data coming in. Historical data here. Guess it's all historical data. Very cool. Okay, so I'm not going to go into any further with the demo of XLQ. Okay, so that's good. Next up, what we want to do now is start installing Python into this environment. So the idea here is to use the Q collectors I've shown before, and just pull up my previous. So we have this portfolio that I just created. So we know we have these two CSV files. So that's what we're going to have the Python access is the CSV files. And I'm also can have those same CSVs shared through the VirtualBox host, or between the host and the guest, which is obviously the host being the Mac and the guest being Windows. So that is very possible. And the hint here is, where is it? I know it can be done. There's a guest right here. See right here, this option, shared folders. So you can set your shared folders between your, as I said, Mac being the host, and then Windows being the guest, so that you can share data between the two systems, or between the virtual machine being Windows and the host, which is my Mac. So I can have my Mac Python scripts access the same files, or any files I want, as long as I tell what folder to look for and set up and configure it. So that's a nice option using this with the virtual machine with VirtualBox. Okay, so as I said, let's download our Python. I'm gonna load in both versions of Python. So we want to do Python 2. Download Python. Let's see what happens here, how the install, if it's gotten better. So we're going to do Python 2. No. Okay, let me just go back here. Windows 2.7. These are the latest versions, and again, today is May 30th, 2017. So I guess here we've got Python downloading, or is it? Let's see if I can run this. Gonna clear that. Just wondering if this is finished downloading. Oh. Is it still downloading? Oh, no, it's downloaded. So one of the big things, I'm not a big fan of Windows, just the delays and the lag and blah, blah, blah. Now I must remind myself Okay, so maybe it's not done yet. It looks like it's done. Wow. This is the evil part of Windows. Okay, so are we done? Okay, let's try running it. Sure, why not? So we're going to install Python. Available for all users, just one user. 2.7, so that's going to go into the C Python 2.7.1. That's fair. We don't need any of these other extensions or packages, I don't think. Pip will be installed. Okay, that we could use. Test suite, we don't really need. Tkinter will be installed. Register will be installed. Documentation. Add Python to the path. Yes. Will be installed on the drive. Sure, why not? See what happens here. Let's give it a whirl. Yes. Excuse me. So in the meantime, let's go to our command prompt and see what happens. Because I'm hoping that this process on Windows has been improved, because before it wasn't all that fun. I came in without those years special things too. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's see if we can load up Python. That's what I thought. Relaunch that. Oh, there we go. So that is running Python 2.7.1.3. Very good. Okay, good. Is pip running? Yes. Cool. Do we have Python import pandas? No, we don't, but we know how to do that. Okay, cool. So let's go over to the next option, which is to load up or download Python 3. And I think we'll be ready to go. I'm hoping you guys know how to proceed from here with the pip install. And as I said, I just want to show you how to set up the basics. Oops, download. So it is gotten better, which is really good. Service not available. Okay. Download Python. Okay, so we want now 3.61. So off she goes. It's a bit bigger, 29 meg. So let's hope that this runs okay. Yes, it does. Install now. Includes ID, idle, pip, and documentation. Sure, why not? Just going with the default, obviously, and hoping it will automatically search for it on the path as well. So let's hope for the best. Just exit out of here. Okay, so it's almost done. Close. Python would still be special blah blah blah. Okay, let's load up that command prompt. Okay, so we know we have Python 3 running. Python 3 pip 3 is not recognized. Interesting. So let's go to the main. So not like what I wanted. That's okay. Let's just download what we just downloaded. Okay, let's go down to our downloads and do it again. Okay, so I'll do a run, not pick the modify, yes. Okay, next. PyLauncher, test suite, pip. Okay, add Python to environment variables, yes. Create shortcuts, so this is the key right here. Add Python to environment variables to the path. Let's see what happens. Should be okay, that should be okay. Do you want to run this file? No. Okay, so let me just exit out of this and go back, come back to it. Oops. Exit. Python 3. What? Python 3. Pip 3. It's got pip 3. So what Python are we running here? 2.713. Where's Python 3 getting installed? The joys of Python. Okay, so let me just see what we got here. Okay, so we want Python 2.713. Wild. You know what? I don't like this installation. I'm going the easy way. I don't even know where it got installed. Bizarre. It's easier on the other one. Run. Repair, modify. Custom install location app data. Ouch. You know what I'm going to do? This is a typical set of problems you can get. I'm going to go in, go to control panel, uninstall it and reinstall it with, so we want 3.61 and removed. Uninstall, we'll do it again. We'll do it again in a custom, like the 2.7 was a clean and fast way. Let me just show you how to do it. Which is much better than what it was about a year ago when I tried this. I'm just going the lazy way. So it's uninstalling it. Just close this. And again, I'm not going to do the pip install and all that. I'm going to assume you know how to do that, or other places to learn all that. Okay, so we've got Python 3 removed. Okay, so let's run our friend again, the 3.61. Yes. This time I'm going to do a custom install. PyLauncher. Python test suite. We don't really care about this stuff. Okay, next. Create, install for all users. Sure, why not? Here we go. So it's going to install into the programs. Add two Python environmental variables, which is correct. We don't care about Visual Studio because we're not using it. Let's do it. Yes. That's what the difference is. Do you want to install for all users? Sure, why not? Okay, it's reinstalling everything. Should run pretty smoothly. And we're good to go. Now remember, I'm not doing any real development on this. This is just to generate files and run some very basic scripts. I don't trust Windows, and I'm not going to do any emails on this or anything. I don't want to dirty up this environment by allowing emails and surfing for torrents and all that crap. So I'm going to try to keep this environment as clean as possible. It's just a good practice on how to properly and cleanly install Python on a Windows environment. Now, if you ask me, I'd probably keep it minimal on Windows 7 if you can, using what I'm doing. And I'll show you what I'm planning to do after this. Okay, let's go back and do the DOS command prompt. So we know Python 2 is running. Python 3 is not running. Way to go. So I know pip 3 is running. There you go. Okay, so how do we fix this? So let me just go back to our... So according to that install, we should have been able to Python 3... Here, let me just see what we got available. So we have... Didn't even install it in the right place. Wild. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to say screw it. I don't care about Python 3. Python 2.7 is fine. Screw it. I know it's not fun, but we tried. Okay, the computer. What we're going to do is if you come under here under properties, what you'll get is, or no, got to go under, it's a computer? Yeah, I think it's computer properties. Here you go. So when you set this up, you've got to activate, let's see here, what am I going to do? Because it's 32-bit, so you can, I think, install a 64-bit from Microsoft. Change settings. Yeah, here we go. This is what I want to show you. Okay, so we have here the 10-day activation window now. So I have to activate Windows, and then here I do a change the product key. So the question then becomes, if I did a search on Windows, now I think we have to make sure we get this properly. So what we have here is we have this Windows 7 Enterprise Edition. Okay. So what I want to do is, if I want to buy a license key for Enterprise, which I think I may do, and I'm pretty kind of surprised at how cheap it is. We want a 32-bit, I guess. This doing this is really a pain in the ass, but see here you can get these licenses for like the keys fairly cheap. So I guess this is like a typical one. I don't know if these are legit or not, or if they're going to be free of licenses or whatever. But there are ways to get valid license keys to extend the life of this VM. So I'm planning to do that by maybe buying one that's legit. Obviously here we've got ones from eBay and all these weird places. So be a little careful on where to buy them from. Because they could be essentially a waste of money. But that's my next plan, and that's pretty well it. So what we've got here is we've got a Windows 7 running with obviously IQFeed for data. We also have Python 7 to run the basic Python 2 scripts. On top of we got Excel with XLQ running, so it's pretty good. And the nice thing is, because it's Windows 7, where am I going here? The size of this VM is pretty small. So if I go into my settings for VirtualBox, under settings, I believe storage. Where are you? There it is. The storage is pretty small. Virtual size 127 gig. Actual size is 10 gig. So that's pretty good. And I'm pretty happy with that. I just want to be able to extend this license now. Get a legitimate license key. Product key, I guess. Alright, so that's pretty well it. Hopefully this will help you out, and good luck. Talk to you later.